Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is DeLadysigner, and we are back with another Speedbuild video of our city zoo. And in this episode, we're going to use inspiration of Rotterdam Zoo. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, we did so much from Rotterdam Zoo, but I'm a little bit out of buildings from Rotterdam Zoo now. Although there are always buildings to use inspiration in Rotterdam Zoo, but the biggest main buildings I really wanted to use for this zoo, we've done them now. So it is time to move on to a different zoo, and in this case we're going to build an elephant house inspired by Bronx Zoo, and this one is going to be really cool. I did record the first few bits you will see in this video also during a live stream, so I did explain a lot about what buildings I had in my mind to use as inspiration and why I did or did not use some buildings that I really also love to use. And there was also this thing like, oh my god, I really wanted to do also an Asian elephant habitat. So this is going to be an African elephant habitat, and I wasn't quite sure how and when and where, and then I was like, you know what I'm going to build 2 elephant habitats in our city zoo. So we're going to have the African elephant and the Asian elephant. I'm just going to do it. Not that it's super common to see in zoos that you have both species in the same zoo, but you do have a few zoos that have that. So we're going to do that too. And in this case, we're going to use the Bronx Zoo as inspiration for the African elephant habitat. And what I really like about this building, there are a lot of pictures of it, especially from the outside with different times. So you see like a really old version of Bronx Zoo with like elephants walking in front of the building, and later on they really redesigned the whole building, and you see like a lot of, I think, more of like a garden in front of it, and there is more on the back side of the building. So yeah, I think it really gave me inspiration to see how I could work with this habitat, because I really want to have like 2 different areas for this habitat. So one section is going to be this indoor section, which we are actually building now, and we're going for like that garden feeling in front of the building. So we're not going to have an outdoor section in front of the building. And on the back side of the building, there is going to be an area where the guests can basically not look into unless they will use the Jeep Safari we are going to build in a later stage. So that is going to be really cool. Like what you see right now, you see like these windows in like a big arch shape, and they used to be like, well, there still are probably. Some are like basically the doorway or the gate for the elephants to walk in and out of the indoor section. But well, obviously in Planet Zoo, you can't really use those as gates for the elephants, because the elephants have like a big traversable area, and if you want them to go through a gate, then it's definitely not wide enough, unfortunately. So we can't really work with that. So I decided to have like these big arch windows still, and I created windows out of it to have like a lot of daylight looking into the habitat. And on the back side of the building, there will be the entrance for the elephants. Like right now, we only do the indoor section of this habitat, so it's going to be a 2-part video. So now we still have like the gate of the keepers being that entrance of the elephants. So obviously that is completely going to change in the next video. But yeah, it's really super excited to see how this is going to get shape in this awesome elephant house. So stay tuned also for the second part of this habitat build. So as I said, like the building has a lot of buildings to get in some daylight. Like it also has like a beautiful, I'm not really sure how to call it, some kind of dome spire-ish thing on the roof. Like unfortunately, it has like really beautiful windows, and it could bring in like a lot of daylight too into the building. But when in Planet Zoo, you can't really like chop off corners of wall pieces and stuff, and it would look super ugly. So in the end, I had to like close that off completely. So from the inside, you don't really see anything what is on top of the building, unfortunately. But it was just too hard for me to create something beautiful out of that you can still have that daylight coming out of that dome. So unfortunately, I wasn't really able to save that, but we still have like the beautiful outside, and then we have the beautiful inside. Well, beautiful, I'm not really sure yet about that. So on the edges of the building, you will have more of like a round shape. I used the round walls, and I am really loving and hating those walls, because the thing is, you don't really have anything in the game. Well, you have a few pieces in the game where you can decorate those round walls with. I really don't understand from a game developer point of view that you give us so many tools to like decorate so many things in the game, and then you give us like for each and every wall set you have a round version of that wall, but you barely have anything simple to just decorate it. And it just really annoys me that they still haven't added that many things. Like from these limestone, these classic themes, you have so many trims and so many beautiful things, but it's all straight. You have only one trim that is going around. So it really annoys me that you can't really do that many things with the round wall shapes, and at least not that it fits with the rest of the theme. But I really wanted to have these round walls in the end. So yeah, okay, they are a little bit less decorated, unfortunately, but I just can't really help it. And it's basically also a little bit hidden away. You can't really see it. You won't really see it that much. But even when doing the interiors, the only thing I could do was like grabbing a different type of colored round wall to divide the round walls into a different contrast. So that was basically the only thing I could really do, unless you use a lot of small pieces. Well, as you can see already in the video, I am using a lot of small pieces. So the limestone trims, they were used to create like a lot of the shapes, a lot of the pillars, and there are so many small pieces already. It's insane actually. But you can't really recolor them, and then, well, you can obviously like recolor a lot of pillars, wooden pillars and stuff, but I didn't want to go that far to decorate those few round walls we had. So they are a little bit less detailed than the rest of the building, but I don't think it really matters that much, to be honest. But it's just frustrating me that you have such a beautiful classic limestone set, and then you don't really have the trims in a round shape. And I did ask for it like a long while ago. When I actually started City Zoo, I did mention this to Frontier, like, hey, why is that a thing? Like, there's just nothing. Like, why? Just give us a few pieces that we already have in a straight way, and then just give us some round pieces. But anyways, okay, enough about the limestone pieces and my annoyments. So in the inside of the building, we have some kind of raised platform where the guests can stand on. Now, the inside, I'm still not completely happy with. Like, I really have a hard time when it comes down to interiors. I still do. I keep trying, but it's definitely something I still need to learn a lot from. And the example pictures I got from the original building are beautiful, but it is really undoable to get those type of shapes in the game. Well, you probably can. You can do anything if you put in like a lot of small items in and a lot of time, but yeah, that's not really the dedication I have to put in like 12 hours only for like an interior, for example. So that's not how far I want to go. So I still have a hard time with the interiors. The last thing I did, which isn't in the recording, is that I used the dry stone, like the Asian wall set. And I really do like more of the contrast of that, because everything was too much in the limestone and classic theme. So hopefully you guys also can see that in the cinematic shots at the end of this video, that you can really tell that it's already looking better instead of like only having limestone everywhere. But it's still quite a hard one because we have glass and stuff in the interior to divide the area with the elephants, and I actually want to keep it open. I want to keep it open, but then you would actually make sure that the elephants are not able to get that close to the guests, but we don't have space to add like a second fence to it, because then we would hurt the traversable area of the elephants. So I'm not really sure yet how I really want to fix that. So I'm probably going to get back to the interiors once we finish this building in the second episode, to see if I maybe get some more inspiration of how we can maybe fix that and have it more open. Because the glass, as much as I try to decorate the inside, I just am not really happy with the glass pieces. So yeah, I'm still not completely happy with it. And I really think that I should change something and make it more open, and maybe then just pretend that there is a second fence that the elephants would not be able to reach the guest from that area. I'm not really sure how. I'm curious what you guys think about that, and if you guys maybe have some example pictures of something I could do without hurting the traversable area of the elephants on the inside. So as I said, at the back of the building, we're going to have like a big open area, which is also going to be used for the Jeep Safari to go through. And on the front of the building, I really want to build some kind of garden-ish feeling. So that is going to be just really beautiful and really attracting people to go to the building. I will also add a cinematic shot of like the spot a little bit of an overview of where this building is. You will also see the twin buildings and the mandrel buildings a little bit more closer by or nearby. And you will also see that I added like this path going to the building, which also has like this bridge in front of it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very nice spot to really drag people towards African elephant habitat. And yeah, it's going to be challenging still to see where we're going to build all the other habitats. Like obviously some buildings for the Jeep Safari is going to have like the same idea as this African elephant habitat. So they're going to have an area where the guests can walk to, and they're going to have a more hidden area on the backside, for example, where the guest can only see the animals from the Jeep Safari. But there's always also going to be animals that will only be able to you will only be able to see when you would be in the Jeep Safari. So it's going to be a combination of that. It's all going to be a little bit more small. Like this habitat for the elephants is obviously probably the biggest habitat we're going to build for the Jeep Safari and for City Zoo. But it's still going to be a little bit smaller just to stay in the style of a city zoo where things are mostly a little bit smaller, but still we're going to make sure that they have a beautiful open space, of course, that they can enjoy and walk around in. But it's going to be challenging because I know that a lot of people, when I mentioned that we're going to build a Jeep Safari, mentioned like, yeah, but I don't know, it doesn't really fit a city zoo. But I still want to add this Jeep Safari, so I need to make sure that it still feels right, even though this is a city zoo. But we need to make sure that it's not like super open like you would see in Koali Zoo, for example, that it is like a humongous Jeep Safari. We need to keep that in mind. And we also don't have that much space on this edge side of the zoo because this is basically on the edge of the zoo. So I think it's going to be completely fine. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to start the next video where we're going to work on the outdoor section and also the garden in front of the building. I think it's going to be super awesome to see how this building gets like finished and just really beautiful. Well, the only thing is not going to be finished is the Jeep Safari itself, because this is going to be the first habitat where we make a little small start of it. Maybe I even just draw out where I want the track to be, and that's basically it. I'm not even going to add the track maybe. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting and challenging. I actually don't even know what kind of habitat I should start with after the African elephant habitat. But maybe you guys have an idea. Just let me know in the comment section down below. But I will just see when we will start anything else, because we still also have the Little Asia area. So we still have a lot of work on that side too. And yeah, I'm just also really excited to start working in Little Asia again for a change. So we have been working a while now in this more African region with like the African elephant in the twin buildings and the mandrills at the island. So yeah, it's gonna be excited to maybe do a little bit more when this is finished in Little Asia again, but who knows, we will see what we can do. But talking about the Mandrill Island habitat, which was the previous episode, thank you guys so much for your incredible support on that video. You guys really loved it. It was also really funny to see how many people were like, I do remember the first video I saw from you was the mandrill habitat during the beta. And that is actually true. I almost forgot about that. But when we had Planet Zoo during the 2 weeks of beta, I started like this dome building in a franchise zoo with like a lot of money. And the first habitat we did was indeed a mandrill habitat, which was still super cool. If I look back at it, I really love how that whole dome and everything looked for the time we had during the beta. It wasn't really that much time, but we really created a really cool dome building with the African elephant and the zebra and the ostrich. We had a tortoise, we had the mandrills, we had a Bengal tiger habitat, and I think we had exhibits. I think that was it, but it looked really cool. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go and check out my short, small beta series. It was really cool, especially for the first time playing with the game, trying out. Oh, we also had gharials, that's right, because we were trying out the viewing galleries for the very first time. It was just so much fun. And look at us now. We are still working in Planet Zoo. We're still building so many different habitats. But boy, I can only hope that we will see something new and spectacular for a change with the new DLC. So yeah, hopefully very soon we will hear more about that, because I'm pretty sure that at least within now and a few weeks we will hear more about a DLC, because I'm pretty sure that they will launch a DLC before Christmas. So yeah, it's already the end of November, so it's going to be very soon. So I can only hope that we will see something spectacular and new. So fingers crossed for that, guys. Fingers crossed. Well, what's also really cool, by the way, about the Mandrill Island, I did tell you guys a little bit about the fact that Rotterdam Zoo, what this habitat was inspired of, the Mandrill habitat, was like back in the days also a polar bear habitat. And I didn't really know too much about the history about that habitat, but someone called Sander Brouwers you did mention a little story. You did tell a little story about what the history was about that habitat. So I highly recommend you guys. I pinned it in the comment section of the previous video. So definitely go and check that one out if you're interested in reading a little bit more about the history about that habitat. It's just super interesting, super cool. So I highly recommend everyone to check that out if you're interested. And I got also one question in the previous episode, which I get a lot, but I will just keep trying to answer it. So at least people that do wonder that already know the answer now. But yeah, when will we see the full zoo tour of City Zoo? I know that I did a few tours in between when we were still building, but I decided not to go for that because the zoo is getting super big and the zoo tours would get too long. So I'd rather just save that for when the whole zoo is finished now. So we're not going to do any tours anymore. So yeah, when the whole zoo is finished, which is probably going to take some months, but then we're definitely going to do one more zoo tour of the whole City Zoo, and we're also going to upload it to the workshop, of course, so everyone can walk around it yourself. So yeah, that's going to be super awesome, of course. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that and are patient for to wait until the whole zoo is finished. And if you want to see what else we have in the zoo, I just highly recommend to just watch the rest of the playlist of this zoo. I think it's really one of my most favorite zoos so far still, and I really enjoy building in it. So I highly recommend you to watch just the whole playlist. It's also linked in the description down below to find for you all. So definitely go and check it out if you're interested to see what kind of other habitats we have. If you didn't follow this series from the start, it's really a zoo I'm proud of. So hopefully I can inspire you guys with everything we did so far in this City Zoo. Do let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this African elephant habitat, of course. Any feedback, tips or suggestions about how we can maybe make this indoor section even better, please do let me know. I'm a little bit lost with the interiors, but yeah, I'm really open for any suggestions. So I'm really looking forward to read your comments about that. Leave a like at the video if you guys enjoyed, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Thank you all for 100,000 subscribers. I don't think we hit it in the last episode of City Zoo, but thank you so much for the 100,000 subscribers. On the 4th of December, write it down in your agenda. On the 4th of December, we're going to celebrate it on Twitch. We're going to do a karaoke live stream, and we're going to play Among Us, and we're going to play Jackbox Party Pack. It's going to be super awesome with lots of giveaways, so definitely make sure to be there. My link to my Twitch channel is always in the description down below, so you can always find it. And I will stream on the 4th of December, so that's on a Friday, but I also normally stream on every Monday and Wednesday and every other week on Friday. So definitely, if you're interested in me playing some Planet Zoo or on their games, definitely go and check me out on Twitch. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Really look forward to read your feedback on this episode, and really look forward to finish off this habitat. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys!